Prometheus, giving you a breakdown of a new offense I put together out of the pistol formation. It is twin tight end slot, And what I like to do is I like to take my number one tight end, my best tight end, and put them at the tight end 2 spot, or basically I can do a tight end flip. I do like to run this set flip, but you can go either way. It really doesn't matter. And my base play is going to be the strong power. That's going to be my base play. So it could be a halfback stretch if you do have an opponent that knows how to shoot the gaps and defend against a strong power, but strong power is going to be my base play. I'm going to be running essentially 5 plays out of this. So let's just go ahead and select a random play. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to count the box. If you got 4 or more, or basically 5 or more defenders on the left-hand side, you probably don't want to go ahead and do this, but everybody kind of knows how effective this run is in the game. It's very, very effective run. So I've got this is probably a little bit overloaded on this side, but able to go ahead and pick up a fairly big run right there. Able to get a touchdown. So I'm not going to go over strong power and how that works. It's just a run that you really have to defend against. Now, what's going to happen is your opponent is going to have to defend against it, and then I like to go ahead and hit them with my first audible, which is a halfback dive right down the middle. What I like to do is pass protect, slide right, and just try to find that hole right up the center. And as you can see, that hole was right off to the right, but I just didn't get to it. Let's try it again. Let's see if we can hit this. Nope. And see the blocking's right there, and I'm able to go ahead and just get right up the middle and get another touchdown right up the middle. So you can have effective running game up the middle and off the left. If you wanted to, you can go ahead and do a butt tap to the right. Blocking is not going to be nearly as good off to the right because you got wide receivers blocking for you unless you've got a really good stud tall team. All right, so what I like to do is I want to go ahead into my pass play audibles, and I want to try to break things down so you can see them in instant replay. All right, so my first audible is going to be hitch corners. Hitch corners is going to be my first audible. And depending on the coverage, if it is essentially press coverage, I'm going to go make some adjustments on that. If it is off coverage, I'm going to make some adjustments. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this. This is press. This is a man 2 under coverage. And essentially what I'm going to do is on press coverage, it's going to be one of 3 different situations. It's going to be either man 2 under. It is going to be also cover 2, like a cover 2 buck, or a cover 2 sink. And so you can basically kind of optimize that type of situation. What you're going to do is you're going to take your inside tight end, which is Stevens, tight end number 1, and put him on a streak route. And I'm going to go ahead and take the outside wide receiver, which is Washington, receiver number 1, and I'm going to go ahead and put him on a drag route. Now, my first read in press coverage is going to be Washington, and if that corner follows, basically I can throw into the void, which is going to be where right is going to be going. So as soon as right gets past the press, you'll see his icon light up, and you can actually do a pass through to the outside to go ahead and hit that. Another play that you can get is Walker. Walker generally will get pressed the line depending on where the defender is located at. And as soon as he releases, you can be able to get him. This play, depending on the press, will make it a little bit erratic, but generally he will follow suit with that play art and be able to, it will turn around about 5 yards out, 10 yards out, past the 50-yard line, and could turn it up for additional yards. So let's go ahead and take a look at the right side, and then we'll take a look at the left. So we're going to look at right. Icon, threw that a little bit too premature, should wait a little bit before the break, so let's go ahead and take a look at that one more time. And as you can see, he gets wide open if you get just enough time. So if he's doing some kind of heat off the side, as you can see, he's wide open. So pick up good 10 yards on that particular play, or actually 15 yards on that. Really going to be giving your opponent a hard time. Conversely, on the right-hand side, you're going to look for Walker, and once he gets past the release, you can hit him, and you should be able to pick up yards on that coverage. So you got to be a little bit concerned with that press, because the press is going to get Walker off the ball. But Walker is not a marquee tight end like some other tight ends like Jimmy Graham. But that would be the reads that you're going to go with. for this watch Washington. And what would happen is you're going to either hit to the tight end. Preferably, the best place to do in a man 2-under is to hit that corner route, because that corner route is going to be money. You'll be able to pick up a good 15 yards. So let's take a look at cover 2. All right, so on cover 2, basically what we're going to do is we're going to stay in the drag with wide receiver 1, and we're going to keep the tight end 1 in a streak. And I'm going to look for the drag. If it's a cover 2 situation, you should get a free release, and all the guys and all the linebackers are going to cover up. So as you can see right here, is able to go and pick up 10 yards on that pass play. And if I wait long enough, say for instance he decides to put up a lineman and a spy, taking that read away, I can actually hit him right over the middle with the tight end. The tight end dropped the ball right there, but that's what you expect with a subpar team. And you can also go ahead and hit that unique route. It's going to get a free release right here on that angle route. It just falls right in the zone. You're able to go ahead and get the ball right there. So let's take a look at now on a cover 2 sink, you're going to go ahead and set the play up a little bit differently. But if you can notice that you get a free release on their press coverage, you can actually hit right back in the corner again, because that corner actually just becomes wide open. So that is definitely a good situation that you can go ahead and hit that. Because there's really going to be no one there to be able to take that away. But if you hesitate a little bit, the defender will actually get in that area for you. You probably be able, you can't actually hit that comeback route. That's going to be taken away by cover 2. But you should be able to go ahead and hit the seam with the tight end. So the cover 2 cover 2 sink is going to give you some of the same reads like that one defender. You still be able to hit the inside drag route. You still can go back to the seam again and go back to your same read. So if you do see press and the defender, that corner over here on the right hand side does not follow, you know you're going to have the inside, you're going to have the seam, you might be able to hit the hitch route. So let's take a look at, all right, so this is going to be off coverage, and basically when you see off coverage, you're going to do a couple of different things. We're going to actually leave the hitch route over here on stock. We're going to keep that the same. We're also going to, instead of streaking Stevenson, which is the tight end number 1, we're actually going to put him on an angle route. The majority of the plays are going to be going off to the right hand side. We're going to be looking over here to the right side instead of on the inside. And if you can, you should be able to, on off coverage, to be able to hit this play if it's open, depending on what the corner does. So you're really going to be looking, your first read is going to be right on the corner route, and if he's available, you're going to go ahead and hit it. Off coverage is just terrible man coverage. It's terrible man coverage to go against an opponent with, so I don't recommend ever using it. As you can see, stuff like this happens. It just any kind of a cut, they just don't react to it on that. So let's take a look at a different off cover. All right, so now we're going to be in a cover 3 coverage. It's going to react a little bit differently because some of those defenders are going to come down and press and jam a little bit. Now, if that's the case, if they come down and press, your only read is going to be could be right. You can wait for him to get past that defender, or you can actually go ahead and hit the tight end over the middle. So that's usually a smart read. That's a fast read. I like to run my offense where I'm getting rid of the ball very quick. I do not want to have the ball in my hands. I don't want my opponent to basically have an opportunity to make any kind of adjustments. I don't like sitting on the ball at all. So you can see right there, I was able to pick up pretty good yards under cover 3. Obviously, after you beat them against the corner a couple times, you're probably going to go into some kind of a cover 4. So let's take a look at that. All right, so cover 4 coverage is basically cover 4 coverage against this type of offense is going to be atrocious. The only thing you're going to be taking away is that corner, but everything else is going to be wide open. So you have, once again, that inside inside slant route. you can actually go ahead and hit Walker on the other side on that hitch route and pick up some pretty good yards on that. And then another play that is actually going to be wide open is that hitch route, that stock hitch route. You'll be able to pick up some 5 yards on that. So, you know, and this offense is really designed, it's not designed to pick up long third downs, but it's designed to basically force your opponent to make certain plays that they're not used to doing. But as you can see, this is very devastating against all different types of coverages if you know to make your read. So this is the first audible that I'm going. Let me go.